Welcome to this guided practice. This practice I have brought together to share with you how you may wish to journey with your Yoni egg. I will be demonstrating here in this video some movements and practices that support your journey with your jade egg, and all practices are an invitation for you to offer to your body. If something that I share doesn't resonate or doesn't feel a yes for your body at the time that you take the practice, then choose something else. Choose a different movement or journey or exploration. There's no right or wrong. This is really to support your journey of awakening and cultivating a relationship with your egg, your yoni, your body, and your personal journey. So as shared in the information around the Yoni egg, the practices, all is a guide. And to begin with, we must really be aware and conscious of the body. So that may mean that you come into a meditation for a few moments to begin your journey, your practice. You may also wish to take a breast massage, which is also shared in the document. Or you may want to come into the heart-womb breathing practice, which I'll demonstrate for you now. So we bring the hands into prayer at the heart space. I like to gently close the eyes just to soften the face and to bring the awareness inwards. So when you feel you know the practice, of course you can close the eyes and drop inwards. But the heart womb prayer is the hands in prayer at the heart space. And then we take the hands into a downward pointing triangle, just overlapping the heart. And then we send the energy of the heart very slowly down the midline. And it comes to rest as the downward pointing triangle on the womb space. You may wish to breathe here for a few moments. And then the cycle, we bring back prayer to the heart. I personally like to draw a breath in here. And then on the exhale, turn the hands down. Of course, you may be moving slower than your breath, so there may be a moment to take another breath. And another exhale. And so the cycle can continue. This is a short demonstration in this journey. You may wish to place a piece of music on and take this practice for a few minutes, or anything up to 5, even 10 minutes. And just really bringing all of that warmth and that love from the heart down into the womb. This is a beautiful practice to take after you've taken a breast massage. So So your breast massage might be a full practice, which is shared in the notes, or it may just be a beginning practice just over the clothes, just bringing everything into the heart space and then bringing it down into the womb. And when you feel comfortable, you may want to rest for a few moments with the hands on the womb space, just breathing deeply here. From this space, you've cultivated a connection with your heart, your womb, your body, and your breath. This may be the time that you now insert your yoni egg. Always being mindful and completely sure that your body and your yoni has said yes to receiving the egg. If there is a part that is saying no or doesn't want to open to the practice, please honour that. And you may have begun your practice, your journey, feeling a yes, and by the time you come to the placing of the egg inside, arrives a no, and that's totally welcome. You and your body are allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to go from a yes to a no. So I would invite in that space just a holding of the egg in the hands and a gentle resting of the hands into the lap or around the womb, a closing down of the eyes and a meditation with the egg. Sometimes it's nice to hold the egg at the heart space as well and hold another hand on the womb. This really just supports the relationship with the egg. This may be the beginning of your journey with your jade egg. That might be a practice that you take for some weeks or even months. I've worked with women who have slept with the egg underneath their pillow or on their bedside table or placed the egg on the altar, and it's been even up to a year before they have felt that deep inner call to insert the egg and to begin the journey with the yoni and the egg as an internal experience. So we remove all judgment from this practice, from this space. There may be times that you experience a deep call to take a journey with the egg over days, weeks, months, and then that call may fade away and the egg may stay on your altar or in a safe and sacred space until she speaks to you again. This has been my personal journey with my egg. She was very present as she arrived into my life, and then over time our relationship kind of faded and she stayed on my altar, and then she comes in and out just like waves, the feminine nature. It may be that during that time that you're not practicing with your egg, that you are practicing more with steaming or breast massage or womb massage, or maybe the yoni wand practice, or maybe it all falls away for some time and there's something else that comes into your personal practice or your path. Again, just to really strengthen that there is no right or wrong. There just is. As long as you are listening to and honouring your body, then you are on the correct path for your personal awakening and healing. So if there was a yes and the yoni has received the egg, she will be gently open and ready to receive. If there's any kind of forcing, but you still feel a yes to the practice, she may just need more time. So maybe honour that. You might want to use your wand to massage around the hips, the womb, underneath into the perineum, into the yoni, just to stimulate the space so that she softens and relaxes open. You may also want to have a conversation with her, placing the hands down on your root, your yoni, and just having a moment to talk about the practice, to share with her what you wish to explore by placing the egg within, and that may soften and open her up to the experience. So we'll see that from this point there's been a yes to the yoni and the egg cultivating this relationship and going inside. And once the egg is inside, I personally like to just pause and take some deep breaths, hands on the womb, just to allow everything to really arrive into this moment. And then from here, you may want to take the heart womb prayer again, or you may want to simply rest the hands on the womb space in a downward pointing triangle and take some deep breaths. Some gentle movement practices that support the egg finding her position in the yoni is we come into the body circles. So we just move the body forwards as we breathe in and then round as we breathe out. So this is a widely known movement or posture in lots of different styles of yoga. But for this practice in particular, we really want to bring all of the awareness and the attention down into the pelvic bowl. So rather than it being a torso dominant experience, feel yourself dropping into the sit bones. The spine is still long, not dumping in the lower back or the sacrum, but the energy, the awareness and the presence is in the pelvic bowl. So you might want to place your hands on your womb or in the hips so you can really feel this circling of the pelvic bowl. It's moving around and around. Feeling the sit bones in deep connection to the earth or to the blanket or cushion underneath your seat. And you'll take that practice both ways, circling to the left and to the right. Preferably in equal amounts of either time or spins. It doesn't have to be overly precise, but just being aware that you've balanced out both sides with the practice. So by now the egg has started to settle into her space. And movement always is a profound practice in cultivating and moving energy, so it may be that is enough for you for some time in your egg practice. Simple circles and the egg gently moving in the yoni. You may just want to sit for a moment after you've taken that movement practice and feel her, feel your yoni, feel any subtle currents or waves of energy that move through you. Maybe there's some deep breaths to be had, drawing them in through the nose, and a sigh out of the mouth. And this really supports a relaxation in the jaw, and then from the jaw it relaxes the hips, because the two are linked. And if your body wishes to go on in a practice, you can either again rest the hands on the womb, the hips, or maybe the knees or thighs. I'm going to take a practice here of, as we inhale, we tilt the pubic bone away from the body, so towards the ground, and we arch the spine. So there's a rounding of the belly and an opening of the heart. The chin stays gently pressed down just to support the prana, the energy, moving up and down to not escape or be released. So we inhale forwards into the expansion. And as we exhale, the breath can be out through the nose or the mouth. You're tucking the tailbone underneath, drawing the pubic bone towards the navel and there becomes a gentle and natural squeeze of the roots of the yoni, the perineum, maybe the anus. They're all connected. This is with all the air out, so. And then we find the movement again. Inhale. Tilting forwards, opening, expanding. Allow the womb and the belly to be soft here, no holding in. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, pulling the pubic bone up. A natural squeeze of the lower bandhas or the root lock, if those terms are familiar for you, or just a gentle natural squeezing of the yoni, the perineum, the anus, with all of the breath out. My personal invitation would be to move slowly here. Inhale, open. Exhale, rock. If you have a personal practice of breath work, pranayama, breath retention, on the exhale, you can hold the breath out for a few moments and engage the lock, the squeeze, and just be in that space of nothingness, that deep exhale as a release. And you're resting in a void space, even if it's just for a few moments, a few seconds. And then there's a softening, first of all, of the roots, the yoni, the anus, the perineum relaxes before you take a breath in and open and expand. So we can see here that there is quite a number of things happening, even though we're moving incredibly slowly and gently and mindfully. And the invitation really is to slow down. This practice doesn't need to be done fast, and it doesn't need to have many repetitions to create or welcome benefit. Actually, the slower you can move, the deeper you'll be able to feel the motion of the egg inside. And this is the whole purpose of this journey and this practice, is to cultivate a deeper awareness and sensitivity within your yoni for a multitude of benefits and reasons. So again, once you've taken that journey of the rocking motion of the pelvis, I would invite you to come and rest in seated, finding the neutral point. This practice is a really great practice to see if we tend to overarch the spine or to dump into the lower back and round. So the rocks can become smaller and smaller until you find your center, the sit bones connected to the earth, a gentle lifting up through the center, but no contraction or squeezes. Placing the hands once again on the womb, closing down the eyes, and breathing. Another practice that may support your journey would be to take a cat-cow. So we would come into all fours, like so, making sure the weight is equally distributed in the hands and the knees. First of all, we want to make sure that we have a straight spine. And then as we inhale, we drop pubic bone like we did when we seated. So you want to keep your head forwards. I'm just gazing at the camera to see you. And then as we exhale, we round. And again, we want this movement to come more from the pelvic bowl than the arch of the spine. So we can visualize or feel the pubic bone pushing away from the front of the body, relaxing the womb, the belly. And then as we exhale, a squeeze of the roots, a pressing in of the navel, and a pulling of the pubic bone towards the body, maybe even a relaxation of the head and the neck. And again, I welcome this movement to be taken really slowly. Maybe there's just a few of these before you rest in a child's pose. Just bringing the forehead to the earth. And then maybe you come back up and take practice again, just having that pause in between. Or maybe there's a point of stillness. Sometimes there's so much to be felt when we actually just sit still and pause and take a moment. You can either take that rest in your child's pose, or you can come back to seated and rest the hands and breathe. Other practices which have been shared in the handout, but I can show here as a demonstration. You rest flat on the back, knees pointing up towards the sky, hands resting on the womb space, feet firmly pressed into the ground, and we take the tilts with the pelvis. So again, exhale, the pubic bone comes towards the body. The pelvic bowl may not even lift off the ground here, that's okay. Inhale, and opening, a pushing of the pubic bone away. Feet firmly rooted. And the intention is not to come up into a bridge here, but to actually stay connected to the earth and find this gentle tipping. So it's such a subtle movement, it may not even be seen so much from the outside. And from this position we can welcome the circling. So this is drawing circles with your pubic bone, or round and round through the hips. So we can begin to feel maybe the energy circulating around the pelvic bowl one way and then the other way. And then again, taking a moment, taking a pause. You may want to rest with your feet together, your knees out to the side. Or for some women, if you have any lower back pain, the feet wider than the hips and the knees together. And you may then, from that place, begin to rest in a Shavasana or come back up to a meditation. Just taking a moment to give thanks to your womb, your body, your yoni, however that arrives for you. Maybe it's an honouring of the heart and drawing that energy once again down. So on your journey with your jade egg, please feel free to either follow this very short guide or take the practices that resonate with you each time you journey with your egg, and take them for the length of time that feels right for you. So it may be that you pick only 2 of the practices, but you journey with them for a longer amount of time. I'm sending love and blessings for your journey with your jade egg. Go gently, kindly, and always with a yes, and from the invitation of placing the egg into the yoni. Blessings.